But we begin tonight with former Pope Benedict XVI passing away at the Vatican at the age of 95. Benedict made history with that stunning announcement in 2013, the first pope to retire in nearly 600 years. Benedict reaffirmed many of the church's traditional teachings and grappled with the fallout from the sex abuse scandal. Pope Francis honoring his predecessor in a prayer service today, hailing him as noble and kind. President Biden, among the many paying tribute, praising his lifetime of devotion to the church. ABC's Inez de la Catera leading us off from Vatican City.
Tonight, Catholics around the world mourning Benedict XVI, the Pope Emeritus, who passed away this morning at the age of 95. Pope Francis, at a New Year's Eve ceremony, praising his predecessor's kindness and thanking him for his testimony of faith and prayer, especially in these final years of his retired life. Benedict shocked the church when he announced his retirement in 2013, the first pontiff to step down in nearly 600 years, citing a lack of strength of mind and body due to his age. The Pope Emeritus keeping a low profile, residing at the Vatican, giving up his famous red shoes for a quiet life, vowing to live hidden to the world. He appeared frail and in declining health, seen this summer with Francis, who said having Benedict at the Vatican was like having a wise grandfather at home to turn to for advice. In 2005, at 78, he was the fifth oldest pope elected in the church's history. Born Joseph Ratzinger, he served as the Cardinal Archbishop of Munich in the late 70s and early 80s. Just this year, Benedict cited in a damning report accusing him of mishandling cases of sexual abuse by priests when he was head of the archdiocese. The church's sexual abuse scandal plagued his papacy, and while he was the first pope to meet with victims,
indeed, I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering the victims have endured.
He also faced intense criticism, accused of not doing enough to hold church leaders accountable for covering up abuse. But perhaps the most notable thing about his papacy was its abrupt end, a decision that could change the church forever.
One of the many gifts that Pope Benedict gave the church was now the freedom for future popes to resign.
Among the tributes pouring in from around the globe, President Biden, himself a devout Catholic, remembering Benedict as a renowned theologian with a lifetime of devotion to the church. And here at the Vatican, makeshift memorials are starting to pop up. Over here, you can see someone's brought photos of the former pope along with candles. Paulette Magana's family telling her she had to be at the Vatican. Your family in El Salvador asked you to come here.
Yes.
This Franciscan brother saying Catholics around the world will unite to mourn his passing.
Just like when your grandfather dies or your father dies, only then you realize the value of family.
Inez de la Catera joining us from Vatican City. And Inez, this is uncharted territory, really, with the passing of a former pope. So what are you learning about the funeral arrangements in the days ahead?
Hey, wait, yeah, and still lots of questions here because this hasn't happened in 600 years. We know what happens when a reigning pope dies, but not when a former pope passes. In this case, the Vatican saying his body will lie in state here in St. Peter's Basilica starting on Monday. His funeral will be held on Thursday, and it will be presided over by Pope Francis, who is also expected to mention Benedict tomorrow during Mass. Whit?
Inez, thank you.